Hello everyone, this is John for PokerVIP.com, and in this video I just want to show you the Blaze games that are running on BetVictor right now. Blaze is basically their equivalent of Speed Poker, Zoom Poker, Rush, basically their fast fold variant. And it's actually part of their 2-week Speed Festival, which you can get involved in now by signing up to BetVictor through PokerVIP.com. You're basically going to be able to play a speed game against a lot of bad players, but also the main thing is this little cannon thing you can see here. And what that is about is once you win 20 raked pots, you get to fire a cannon at a deck of cards where you'll win anything between €1 and €100. Sometimes you win nothing, but it's €1, €10, or €100. So all you have to do, play, win money, win 20 raked pots and basically get to try and earn some extra money. On top of that, what you will be earning is your 30% rake back, which you can cash at any time. You'll be clearing your 1k deposit bonus, which clears at 20%. You'll be earning points for the top 350, 40k per month Poker VIP rake race, and everything else on top of that. So anyway, I'm just going to launch into the video and just talk about some concepts and how we should maybe, play these games. And just talk about every single hand as and when it happens. Pretty straightforward, just like any other 6-max game, we want to be opening lots of buttons. People do fast fold more in these speed games, so cut off and button, you can definitely loosen up that a little bit more. Just because, people do just, click, fold, and wait for a big hand. Queen 5 here, I check my option, I'm going to call a queen high in a gut shot. King 7, normally I'd open king 9 or better on the button, but in these speed games, like I say, people fold more, so I can open up my range that a little bit more. Queen 5, I turn a 5-5 flush draw, but don't really love it, so I'm going to fold. So yeah, this is a great time to, really practice your game, get lots of hands in, play against lots of recreational players, and earn a lot of money in the process, So you're going to earn your profit from the tables, you're going to earn your rake back, you're going to earn rake race, you're going to clear a deposit bonus, and you're going to get to fire the blazing cannon. Hopefully we'll get to see me fire off a shot during this video as well. I best play some more hands and see some more flops. And this isn't just per session, say, you're up to like 16 out of 20 and you've got to end your session. When you sit back down, it'll still be 16 out of 20, so don't worry about that. 8-4, we're going to fold under the gun. Pocket 8-2, we're going to be calling. I'm not raising for value, nor am I raising as a bluff, so I'm just going to call. Got to be, wary that this guy only has 60 big blinds. So we just, see flops and see what happens. 7-8 suited, blind versus blind, definitely an open. 8, I'm going to call. A little bit worried about this guy behind. But the worry's gone now, I turn a set. Going to bet pretty big because it's a pretty wet board. 7-8, I see bet a ace-high flop. I'm going to barrel and turn my hand into a bluff on this turn. He's going to have a lot of, one-pair type hands. He's going to have some combos. So if I go 3 streets here, I should often win. River is like one of those good / bad cards. We can definitely rep a flush now. But if he has a flush, he might go ahead and call us pretty quick. I would expect him to call with Jack, Queen, and King of Diamonds, and I'd only expect him to raise the King, so I think his hand's pretty face up to being the King of Diamonds there, so not a spot we can go ahead and bluff. I think I need him to fold smaller diamonds. He can definitely fold, non-diamond hands, so I'm quite happy with that line overall. Few fast folds here. King 10, just going to peel, defend my big blind, flop top pair on a paired board. Just going to go for a check call line to start. He checks back, so I'm just going to lead half pot for value. It's a very dry board, so I don't need to go big. And half pot, give him a decent price to call. Being min raised here pretty much. So I'm just going to go ahead and call and try and hit a flop pretty hard. King on the river, pretty good river for us, just going to value bet. Get called pretty quick, and he had, will it show? Not too sure if the hand histories are that great on here. Seems not. Okay, so maybe that's a little bit of a flaw, but we can do without. Anyway, we're 3 out of 20 wins there, so we're getting closer and closer to that cannon. And you can see our little fuse burns, around the side here, all the way up here. It is quite a fun thing. Obviously, sometimes you will not win anything, which is a sad thing. But I can guarantee that people do win. A player, a staked player of ours won the €100 last year. I've won €10 a few times just when making videos, and there's lots of cases of people winning €1 and €10. But of course, we're all going for that €100 win. 9-10, I was going to defend, but once it gets 3-bet, I'm going to fold. A7 suited in the cutoff, I think it's a must open. A7, we flop top pair. Just going to bet and see what happens for now. He calls me pretty quick. I could have the best hand. He might have some draws. I'm just going to check, control size of the pot, see what happens. He checks pretty quick. I'm going to put like a blocker / value bet out there. Try and get him to call me for king. He might have like ace deuce suited or something, and we'll chop it up. But he actually just calls me for 9 there, so my small bet does get a nice call. It's kind of like a blocker / value bet. Ace Jack in the cutoff. Just go for an open. Queen 4, we're going to fold. Jack's here. Nice big hand. Get called on the button, so he's going to have lots of smaller pairs, some broadways. And we get called by a small blind. I think just to start, we're going to see about this flop. And get called by worse for sure. Obviously, protect our hand versus the draw as well. And we do take it down, and now we're 5 out of 20 on our way to, firing off that cannon. They bring these players in cannon around 3 or 4 times a year. They have like a Christmas cannon. I think they had an Easter cannon once, and obviously this is just part of their speed festival where they're going to have like some sit and go challenges as well. You can find that on the puckvip.com pages. Ace-8, I defend, flop a pair, not the greatest board for us. Turn 2, but I'm just going to bet here for value and protection again. I expect to bet all of his queens and jacks. I expect to bet like aces and kings. 9s and 10s, maybe not. He might call me, but we'll see. He does call, and a 9 gets there. Really quite confused to what this guy has. He can definitely have like pocket 10s, pocket 9s. He might have a hand like... I'm not actually sure. He could have like a similar hand. Once he bets this river, I'm very confused. He's repping a 10 or a full house. Very tempted to call, even though it seems like a bad call, just because that river does complete a lot. But I'd expect to bet like pretty much all of that stuff on the flop. So I'm going to call in hero, and yeah, he has pocket 3s. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, and it isn't true. So big call there. 8s here. He led. I called. Just going to check down. Hope to get the showdown here. He might have a hand like king 8 of clubs, which would suck, but he could have like 7 8 of clubs. Sorry, you can't have that because I've got the 8, but you know what I mean. He actually just has ace 10, so okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But we do have enough showdown value there to take the pot down. Nine 10 suit, I'm going to go for a 3-bet. Just going to try and re-steal versus a cut-off open, and it's also a nice hand we like to play. Great board for us to see bet on. Going to go for a double barrel here. Top of his range is like ace queen, pocket 8s. He's going to have a lot of, ace jacks, king queens, and so on. When we get there, we're just kind of hoping that he does have ace queen or, certain calls once we're back into the nuts. He's going to have a good price to call us as well. Calls us for face 10, which I think is a terrible call overall, but like I say, there's a lot of recreationals on these tables, so there is lots of money to go ahead and just pick up. I would say the general game, once a hand like that happens, they're going to be folding the river. So yeah, some good money to be made here. 5-8 suited against 2 opponents on a king 9 deuce. I might go ahead and just give up on this because this guy's short stack. People are going to have a lot of queen 10s and 9 10, like jack 10s that they're going to hang around with. It's going to be very hard for me to win. I don't have a backdoor draw, so I might just give in. Or think about going for a delayed c-bet. If it checks around on the flop on the turn, I can go ahead and bet and see if I can take it down. But it's been bet into me, so I'm going to fold. King queen suited under the gun, definitely an open. Seven out of 20 on the way to firing off the cannon. 6-9, I'm going to raise. King Queen, we get called from the small line. Just going to go for a c-bet on this board. Against two opponents, I still think it's fine. We get called, 6 on the turn. This guy's pretty short. I'm not going to expect him to fold that many hands. If we get to showdown, I might win versus hand like, Jack 9 of spades. So I was going to just happy to check down there, but once he leads, I'm going to just go ahead and fold. You can definitely have a pair, 2 pair sets, anything like that. 10 Jack, I made a relatively okay open in mid position. Get a 3-bet from the button, just going to muck. Queen 7 on the button, I think it's okay to open. Queen 9 off normally would be my standard. But like I say, in these speed games, people do fold too often. But once it is open in front of us, we can just go ahead and get rid of it and move on to the next hand. 7's under the gun, no matter what you're playing, will be an open. Ace 9 is not a hand we want to be defending an under the gun open with in the big blind. Deuce is on the button, probably a hand we're going to play in some manner. 7C, we get 3-bet. We're out of position. There's a player behind, so I'm just going to muck. Deuces, I'm just going to min-raise button. I think min-raise is the best way forward. We're going to steal a lot. We get 3-bet here. I might go on a set mining expedition, but if you notice the size of it, it's just too big. If you went to 60, I'd call, but versus, almost 5x, I'm just going to muck. Hitchhike, a little stake player of ours, who'd be like, what the hell is John doing in these games? Making a video. Great for stake players as well to play in these games. Kings here, we're just circling our prey, trying to get as much money in the middle. 3-bet will do. Just go slightly over 3x out of position. Sadly, no action there. I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can take this pot down with my 7 high. I'm going to give up. Jack 4 suited, going to open the button. Yeah, guy to 10, don't think I'm getting him to fold down that one out. And I need to stress, for this Blazing Cannon, it's raked pots, so once you see the flop, basically, it's not pre-flop wins. Going to go ahead and 5x ISO here with the King 10 suited in position. Flop top 2 on a very wet board, so that's pretty good. A6 we're not going to be defending. Going to go pretty large here with a King 10. It's just a very wet board. We want to, get money in there and protect. Straights get there on the turn, but I think he's going to be like combo heavy. He's going to have, worse kings. He might have, 7, 8, 8, 9, hands like that. Jack 9, Jack 10, hands like that. River is going to jam. Hope he somehow has something big and calls. I don't think he's going to fold a king. Don't think he folds a 10. If he had a straight, I don't think he's going to fold. So, it is what it is. 9-10, I'm going to barrel my gut shot on the king high board. I think it's, I rep pretty well. Once the board runs out of ace, I'm going to give in. We didn't get any action there, but we do win the pot. And we get one step closer to firing off the cannon. Remember to sign up PokerVIP.com, go to the deals tab along the top and hit Bet Victor. 30% rate back, 20% deposit bonus. Entry into the biggest private affiliate rake race in the world, which is now 350 places paid, 40k prize pool, and that's only going to get bigger and bigger. And also, promos like this, where you can opt in for the Blazing Cannon. I'm just going to go and, just bet. Check, bet. Queen could be good on the turn, on the river certainly is. So, I think that hand's played pretty standardly. A6 going to raise, 10-3 going to fold. Ace 9 in the cutoff, definitely a hand I want to be opening, which we will. Obviously the big blind's shorter here, but 40 big blinds, still fine. 7-9 we're going to fold. And if you're new to the game and wanting to learn, poker, this is going to be one of the best ways for you to do it. Lots of hands, fast pace, other recreationals in the pool. You can definitely make money just from the promos, or at least your losses won't be as large from the games. 9-3 suited I defended, and I bet once I flop a pair and a flush draw. Something we need to be doing. And we take the pot down. 10 out of 20. Let's go. 10 more wins, and we're going to be firing off that cannon. And you can see just how quick, you know, you can get these little cannon shots done. Nothing fancy's been done. Ace 5, I'm just going to check back on this board. Basically allows him to, you know, bet turns and rivers, and I can just call down. Also, as well, it means I could, you know, maybe, you know, get value from a king if it, you know, he might not believe that I would check an ace on this flop. As played, we just call down, chop it up. A split pot counts as a win, so that's good. 11 out of 20. Jack Queen, I don't know if we're going to have the best hand a lot here. Hope to go to showdown, but I won't be calling a bet, and I'm not that hopeful that I'm winning. But there is a chance, and we do. Lovely. That takes us to 12 out of 20. 8 more winning pots, and we are firing off that cannon. That'll be a great end to a video. So this is like more of a promo video talking about the cannon, but obviously talking about just general speed poker strategy. If you do want to learn more about speed poker, we have like a do's and don'ts article, which I'll link in the description. And we also have like a speed poker opening range, which might interest you a lot of you, which basically just shows which hands you should be playing from which position and why. And it should definitely help you improve as a player and crush a little bit harder than you already are. So I'll link both of those into the description below. Ace 8, we're going to open. Jack Queen, we're going to peel. Flop a gut shot, backdoor flush draw. All pretty good news, so we can just go ahead and check call. Turn a flush draw. Ace 8, I'm just going to keep checking. Probably call if he bets turn. Get a check again, call if he bets river. Jack Queen, I'm still calling. We're getting a good price for a flush draw. River, I'm just going to lead. I don't want him to check back. I don't expect him to have a speed that often. So I just want, you know, I don't want him to check back, and I want him to maybe just level himself into calling with a weaker hand. And not be able to check back a hand like King 10, for example. If he raises, I'll be pretty, you know, confused. But yeah, we do get a quick call there. And he had pocket 10s. So yeah, I don't think he's going to be betting 10s on that river, so I like my lead a lot. I'm telling you guys, it's just free money out here right now. It's just completely free money. I'm just going to 3-bet ace king. We are deep, so I'll have to pay out for that. Watch out for that. Jack deuce is not a hand I'll defend with. Jack deuce suited though I would versus min raise. Ooh, being called 4-bet. We're just going to peel in position. I don't want to get ace king in for 200 big blinds against someone I don't know. I'm in position. We'll just go ahead and see what happens. He bets pretty large. I think I've got to call once just in case he's bluffing, and you know we could turn an ace or a king or a diamond and be able to win the pot. Once he bets big again here, he's going to have like queens, kings, and aces a lot, so I'm just going to fold and let him have it. King jack suited, I'm just going to call in position. Flop top pair on a very dry board. Just going to bet once check two. Not too big, just over half pot. 6-8, we're going to muck. Queen 9 here, we're going to open in the cutoff. Nice playable hand. And like I say, we've got to keep trying to steal all this money that people keep folding. And you've noticed, you know, like, it's not just me saying it, people are just snap folding the blinds. And once they do play back, all we're risking is this little 20 cents, and we're going to win a lot of money. You know, even in spots like this, we're going to flop a king high draw, might be able to make some money, you know, the hard way by hitting a hand and getting paid. I could definitely be ahead here with my pair, so I'm going to bet for value and also just to plump the pot up with my flush draw. Back into 2 pair, so now I'm just going to bet. Once the flush draw missed, he'll believe me less, so I'm going to go large, you know, polarize my bet. I have a big hand on nothing. You know, say I've got like ace 5 of spades, I'll probably make a bet like this, so I can definitely make the bet with my strong hands as well. 16 out of 20. 4 more wins and we're firing off that cannon. I think in a video the largest I won was €10. I've definitely bricked a few in the past by getting 0 and some spaceship or rabbit or whatever the hell it was flying in the way of my cannonball. A few of you might be like, Johnny, you on acid? What the hell are you talking about? If you've not seen this before. But yeah, things get a little weird when you try and fire off this cannon, which you'll see very shortly. I'm going to make some folds here. King Jack suited, we're just going to call in position. From flush draw on a paired board. So it's good, but we do have to, proceed carefully. Just calling's fine. On this turn, I expect to have the hand pretty much all of the time, unless we ran into quads or like an ace-high flush. Gonna raise for value. People might say, well, this is a bit dodgy on the paired board. What if he jams? Well, we just call it off. But like he can have aces with the ace of hearts. He can have ace queen with the ace of hearts. He can have lower flushes. So I'm just gonna, turn my hand into, complete value and just go for the 3 streets. And as you can see there, he snapped us off with ace queen, no hearts. So pretty much stacked by him. But again, these games are soft. If you just use your common sense, play good solid poker, and push the value, then you're going to make a lot of money. Also, as well, Bet Victor, we are giving away hand histories for free. To find more out about that, just ask our chat, or you can add us on Skype, support.pokervip, or you can just go to the PokerVip forum, go to the promos subforum, and you'll see a instruction manual there on how to claim it. 5-9 suited, I'm going to defend blind versus blind, I've got 2 pair. Pretty wet board, so I'm going to play this pretty fast. He could have us beat by sets or straights, of course, or better 2 pairs, but I want to raise to get value from draws, over pairs, top pairs, and things like that. So if he does bet, I will be raising. He checks, I just bet. Queen 9, just go for a C bet. I expect to take the pot down a lot there on the King 6. Definitely can take it down on the ace high turn. He might have a hand like 7s and just snap fold. He ends up just check 3xing me, so I'm going to muck. But I think in the long run, double barreling on boards like that will make us money when we've got nothing. 2 more wins and we're going to be firing off the cannon. King Jack under the gun, pretty loose actually. Sometimes I fold that, but I guess in these speed poker games I'm loosening my game up. Just going to go ahead and, put a little bet out there with my king. I get called and get another king on the turn. I can just keep on betting for value here. We could be up against king queen or full house. River, we're going to be chopping versus every king now. We now beat pocket 5s. We do lose to quad deuces and king 5, but I think we're okay to just keep on betting there. We're going to be chopping sometimes, or he might go ahead and hear us with 9s or 10s and not believe us. 1 more until we're shooting off that cannon. Will it be the one with the 7-5 suited? Nope. Remember, you need to see a flop. 6-4, pretty easy to defend, even versus a 3x. Nice playable hand. Going to call with a pair. He's going to be c-betting this board all day long. I turn 2 pair. Probably just going to check call and let him keep bombing off versus me. Might go for a river check raise, but generally I can just call down here and expect to scoop the pot. River is pretty close. It's pretty thin as a value bet once he does barrel board like this, but I don't think he's not going to. I think he's going to play ace king and ace jack the same way, so I want to try and get value from those hands. So a check jam on river's fine. We can even check raise small. But if he's got ace king, I don't think he's going to fold. Same with ace jack. He obviously can have ace queen, aces queens, ace 9, queen 9, stuff like that. But whatever. Okay, here we go. We're going to fire it off. Apparently. Work, baby. Here we go. Bit of a lag on it. I don't know what's happened. Ah, we missed. Okay, so a bit of an anticlimax there, because it seemed like this wasn't working that well. But what would have happened there is a cannon would have fired and missed. But for some reason it lagged. Could be my computer not having, being a bit slow today. But yeah, we didn't win anything, sadly. But you do see the gist of the games. The games are very soft. You're going to make money from the 30% rake back, the 20% bonus, the top 350 rake race, the blazing cannon, and just man these games. Get signed up, pugvip.com, and go to the deals page, or just ask us for any help. Oop, I was about to sit out, but we're going to play this 18 suited. See if we can, go Busto on the last hand or win another buy-in. D33 is thinking. No, okay. So yeah, this was John, pugvip.com, and this was the Blazing Cannons 10 and L over on BetVictor.